Hey everybody, we're back. We've got some exciting news that we have on the rocket stove. The heat exchanger is mounted, the lines are plumbed in. You look up, you can see some red lines here. One's a supply and one's a return going back to the heat exchanger. And we have our pump, pressure tank, and valve assembly installed. The system is full of coolant. We're using old automotive coolant. It's good to minus 30. I tested it before we put it in. So we know we have a really good frost protection in the event that we're not using the stove for a few days here this winter. If something else comes up, we know that the lines aren't going to freeze. So basically we'll start here. We have a master kill switch. So basically this turns on and off the pump. The pump is just a circulating system. So at that point, shutting that off, the water no longer circulates. So for safety reasons, we need to keep this circulating as long as we have a fire going. Basically, we want to avoid a steam generation and overheating in the heat exchanger. That can basically end up in an explosion in the heat exchanger, and we want to avoid that at all costs. So we will go from there to the pump. It's just a 132 circulating pump set on low speed. We found in initial testing here this evening that on low speed it's still too big to really circulate. It's a very small building. We're only at about 600 square feet, so maybe 350 square feet on the main floor. So that's all the pipe that's circulating. Overall, we have, I believe it's about 3.5 gallon system. That's all that's in the whole system. So it is a direct circulating system, which means we don't have a reservoir tank that it would be going into. So the water that's going into the floor is coming back out of the floor. The water that's going into the heat exchanger and then back out of the heat exchanger and back into the floor. So there's no big water reservoir to maintain heat. So the only heat that's going into the floor is the heat that's actually coming off the heat exchanger. So the pump goes through, gives us a T here. This is both a pressure gauge and air trap, which allows any air in the system to be evacuated. It's an auto air trap. Right now we're running at about 6 psi, and the temperature I believe is around 8 degrees coming through right here. So as the core temperature rises, we're going to be getting some expansion, thermal expansion on the liquids, and so our pressure should go up. We have a fair bit of room. Our expansion tank is set at 12 psi. So once this is at 12 psi, our expansion tank's at equilibrium, and I believe we have up to 16 psi over that. So that brings us up to like 28 psi, which on this gauge before the expansion tank is maxed out. So we got lots of room. It's a very small system. I'm not expecting a whole lot of pressure, maybe 3 or 4 psi change on this as the system is heating up. I'll grab the thermal gun. We can shoot some numbers for you on the car. All right, so we're going to start. We'll take a temperature of the heat exchanger supply line right here. It is 11 degrees Celsius getting to the floor from the heat exchanger. Coming out of the floor is 7 degrees. So we have about a 4 degree, where's my math? 11, that's 4 degree heat differential right now. So the floor is absorbing heat is basically what comes of that. And as the floor absorbs more heat, it's going to climb, the temperature will climb in the system as well. Our goal coming off the floor is in that 20 to 25 degree range. We still have the mass of the actual stove running, and it's heating the air, so that's helping maintain or increase our thermal dynamics on the concrete as well. So, like, subscribe, share this video if you get anybody else that's interested in living off the grid and trying to, well, we're not really 100% off the grid because we're running pole power, but if you're interested in doing something a little unique, you can take a look at some of our other videos. There is some start to finish stuff on there. Thank you. And from me and Kyle, thanks for tuning in to Sleeping Outdoors.